Guys, good afternoon and welcome to today's session. Uh, as just the strength is very scanty, let's just wait for 2 or 3 more minutes and then we'll give it a start. In the meantime, those who have recently joined, those who have joined late, so please just go through those 3 lines that come in the beginning of the poem. And this is the first extract that you need to do. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes, please. Then we'll give it a start. I think this is the maximum strength we can expect in the last class of the last day of the week. And that's the magic. Okay, let us see how much the loss is, the loss of learning is. Okay, I should not disappoint those who join the class. So with that note, let me just give it a start then. Um, I hope my voice is clear and audible to everybody. Can somebody please just acknowledge it one last time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So let me just formally welcome you to the class. Good afternoon, everybody. Now, as you see it on the screen, we have some extracts to do from the recently finished or concluded poem by the English poet Ted Hughes, The Laburnum Top. Now, in this link, we have, which will be shared with you soon, we have 3 extracts. 2, 3. We will do one, and the rest of the 2 will be done by you. Okay, but this link will be shared with you, but please be mindful that you can't find those extracts in the beginning of the page itself. You have the other extracts from the lesson of the 3rd chapter, Discovering That the Saga Continues. Okay, now please just scroll it up, come down, come down, come down, come down, and then you will get the extracts here. Okay, so please just be mindful of that one, right? I hope that is clear, and you guys were able to
Yes, sir.
got the point. Now let's just look at this one. So please just find those extract based questions towards the end of the page, not in the beginning of it. In the beginning, we have different extracts from the different lesson. From a different lesson, which we have not yet finished. Well, after the completion of this one, we'll be moving on to that only. Discovering that the saga continues, which will be very interesting. Those who love history, those who love something beyond, I can say, science, those who love sci-fi concepts, something related to that. And that will be very nice. And we have plenty of attractive videos as well. Let's see. Now that's the talk of the next lesson. And as far as this lesson is, this poem is concerned, these three are the lines we have for the first extract. And we have a 5 questions. Yeah, 4 questions. 4 questions framed on it. Now let's first listen, read them out. I hope you must have read them out and understood. Even then, let me just read it out one last time. The laburnum top is silent, quite still in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Now, what is meant by the laburnum top? Somebody?
Top of the tree.
Of course, the top of the tree. The top of the laburnum tree. That's it. There's no hidden meaning or there is no meaning which is quite idiomatic. No, it's a straight meaning. The top of the laburnum tree is the laburnum top. That's it. We can say extreme end of the branches of the tree. See, will you have that kind of perception, then tap on show answer and have a cross check with that answer. Your answer may not be 100% similar to the answer given over there as far as wording is concerned. Wording. But the core thought remains same. If the core thought remains same, then your answer is right. So here by laburnum top is meant the part of the tree where nest for the baby bird is made. Yeah, we also meant the same thing, more or less. The extreme branch, the top of the tree. Then that's right. And we all know that the goldfinch bird built a nest for its young ones there only. Okay? Now, we are right only, even though the wording is different. Core thought remains same. So in that way, you need to cross-check with the answers. When you do extract based 2, extract 3. All right? Now, second question. Why top of the tree is silent? Anyone? Please be genuine and sincere. You don't have to cross-check with the answers because these are all not very tough even. These are not even tougher questions. I didn't mean that for tougher questions you can, shamelessly refer. Not like that. But don't need. Please avoid that kind of habit. And just try to recall whatever you have been taught. Why top of the tree is silent? Absolutely. Of course, it is silent because it is motionless and no noises, nothing as such. And moreover, the absence of the bird. The absence of the bird making the noise. Of course, there are young ones, but they are not making the noise. They are silent only. And they made the noise. When? When did they make the noise? The young ones. Yeah, when the mother came. And when these young ones saw their mother coming towards them with something to feed them. So then they started making the noise. And the machine starts up. There it comes. So why the top of the tree is silent? Because there were no birds making the noise. And moreover, it is motionless. So absolutely not noisy. And the same wording may not be there here. The chicks are not making any sound, hence the tree is said to be silent. More or less, we meant the same thing only. Core thought was not deviated. I hope you are able to get that point. How you can cross-check your answers. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, next question. How yellow color of leaves might have helped the baby birds? Yellow color of the leaves. How?
So,
Yellow
because
color.
the birds were also of yellow colors.
Right only. But what is the very benefit that they get? Okay. Anything else? Need not be too creative, but look at it with logic. That's it. That will do. See, if you see our military, armed forces, they wear dress camouflage. And if at all they just enter trees, it's hard to identify them. I mean, it's hard to identify where. Exactly. Their young ones will be safe if they are in matching with the color of the tree. They are hard to be found. So this is how the baby birds are helped with the yellow color of the leaves, by the yellow color of the leaves. See, same wording may not be there, but more or less it looks same. Color of the baby birds of goldfinch is yellow. Yellow leaves of the tree is helping them to hide themselves. So I think more or less we got the point. We got the concept only. Are you guys able to get that point?
Yes, sir.
The next question. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, by the way, I'll give you one clue. We need to identify the poetic device. We need to identify the poetic device in the second line, used in the second line. See, what we mean to say is the last two words, September sunlight. September sunlight. As the answer was just clicked on it, I'll tell you alliteration. Fine. It is alliteration. What is alliteration? Or do we know what alliteration is? Are there any previous examples? September sunlight. See, we are asked to find the poetic device used in the second line of the extract. What is the poetic device used in the second line of extract? That is this line, in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. See here, September sunlight is the core part, and this is alliteration. That is the poetic device. But what is alliteration? Are there any examples earlier? Yes? Somebody? We discussed this many times. Yeah.
Alliteration was the repetition of similar consonant sounds.
But please add one more point to it. One more word, not point. Point, word. Initial consonant sounds. Okay?
Yes, sir.
In the closely connected words. Alliteration is a technique used by writers to show some rhythm. And what is that technique? That is the uses of or use of similar consonant sounds in the beginning of the closely connected words. Similar consonant sounds in the beginning of the closely connected words. Here's September sunlight, closely connected words. They are next to each other. And the beginning consonant sound, the similar consonant sound in the beginning of these two words, that is in September, in sunlight, or similar, and that too in the beginning. So if at all you see the usage like this, I mean similar consonant sound in the beginning of the closely connected words, it's alliteration. So here it is alliteration. Now, are there any other alliterations that we have so far come across other than in this poem? I'm talking about a photograph by Shirley Townsend. We came across some alliterations there. Do you remember one?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you please just quote the example?
So one of them was my mother.
Yep, my mother. There, my mother. And one more? Yeah, there are many, 4 to 5. Terribly transient. Terribly transient. I hope you guys remember that. Don't you remember the poem, A Photograph by Shirley Townsend, wherein we discussed elaboratively about this alliteration? We had plenty of examples for alliteration back in that poem. All right. Let me just photograph. PDF. NCRT, NCRT. Yeah, here. Can you all see that? Let me just stop presenting the tab and represent the whole screen to show you how the alliterations are. Here. Can you all see the laptop screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Now see how many alliterations are there in this my mother, in the closely connected words, not necessarily next to each other, but you can have it. Now see here, stood still, to smile. Of course, it is not immediately next to still. Even then, we can consider, because the definition says in the closely connected words, not necessarily next to each other. Okay. Now here also, through, there. So something like this. Many are there. And here also one, terribly, transient, again. So there are alliterations here. Hopefully alliteration is clear to everybody. Here also, silence, silences. Is that clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Now you do the rest. I'll share the link with you after this class. You do EB2 and EB3 and send me the scores on my personal WhatsApp window. Okay. Now we'll have a word about the MCQs also now for a little while. Then we'll wrap up the session. And I'll share some links for the practice of MCQs as well. And we'll be mostly having a kind of quiz for MCQs. Now, first question. What is described by the word sleek in the poem? Is lizard described by the word sleek? Is bird described by the word sleek? Is the branch described by the word sleek? Is the top of the tree described by the word sleek? Described by the word sleek in the poem.
Lizard.
Of course, lizard, not the bird. The bird is not the one described by the word sleek. If you just look at this one, where is it? There you are. Then sleek as a lizard. Sleek as a lizard. Then brave as a lion. He fought. Then brave as a lion. He fought. That means their braveness referred to the lion only. Sleek as a lizard, brave as a lion. Okay. Now, next one. What does the phrase her barred face identity mask mean? Just look through the options, look at the options and identify.
Sir, due to a dark colored yellow body?
Yeah, that is one answer only, but here it's a bit different. Try to understand the question here. A barred face identity mask. Yeah, it has happened because of her dark yellow colored body only. But what does that mean? What is the poet trying to convey there? That's what the meaning of the question is.
Then I would go with the third one. Bird's face became her identity and symbol of recognition.
Absolutely. See, it has happened just because of having dark yellow colored body. It's absolutely right. But what does that mean by what is the intention? There, bird's face became her identity and symbol of recognition. How? Because it is camouflaged, it is hidden, it is concealed there. And only the face is making her to be identified by us. And it is acting as the symbol of recognition because it had some black spots on its head. And when the rest of the body got matched with the color of the tree, only face was visible. And that too, just like, it's not even completely visible, clearly visible, barely visible. See, some part of it through the gaps in the thick foliage. And so the face of the bird that has the black spots became her identity, or the thing which helped us to identify that one, or the thing that helped us to recognize that it is the one there. So this is what it meant. Yeah, it happened because of having dark yellow colored body only. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Next one, please. What instance, that means example, of alliteration has been used in the poem The Laburnum Top out of the following options?
September sunlight.
Of course, it was already discussed. Now, what about this one? Which poetic device is this? Sleek as a lizard, brave as a lion, brave like a lion, sleek like a lizard. What is that poetic device? Pardon?
Simile.
Of course, it is a simile. What about the engine of a family?
Metaphor.
Absolutely. Because there is some comparison, but without using the words like, such as, all that. So it's a metaphor, we can say. Now, what about her barred face? What is that? What about that one? Her barred face. Of course, there also you can see some comparison, right? Her face has been barred. Of course, it's been compared to the something else where we can see some bars or something of that sort. Barred face. It's also a metaphor. Metaphor. All right. We can say some of the metaphors, when we compare them, will have something else beyond that one. Just like terribly transient feet. There we see the feet of the human beings have been compared, and then there it's been referred to as very, very mortal. And just like that, her barred face here, transferred epithet. If you remember there, I discussed the transferred epithet. See here, the adverb barred has been used as a noun. Barred face. Here it's been used as an adjective to refer to something else. So in simple, in short, transferred epithet. Transferred epithet is a figure of speech where an adverb is used as an adjective to refer to a different noun. Just like transient has been used as an adjective to feed a different noun, barred is used an adjective to a different noun, face. So transferred epithet, metaphor, simile, and alliteration. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you just look at this one, can you find one more alliteration in this? Especially stick to the last line, please. Last line. The whole tree trembles and thrills.
Tree trembles.
Tree trembles. Here, T. And what about this one? Thrills. If you consider that one, then what does that become? Personification. You know why? Thrilling is the feeling. or the emotion or the act of a human being. The feeling, emotion, or the act of, or simply I can say human quality it is. Thrill. I felt thrilled. But do you think that the tree can feel thrilled? But it is given as thrilled. So a human quality has been attributed to a non-human being. And if at all that is done, that is called personification. Personification. If you remember, the silences. See, silences is also personification. The human quality of silencing the other people, maybe by talking, by requesting, has been given to a situation. So, a non-human being, personification. Here it is discussed clearly, if you remember. Can you?
Yes, sir.
Is it not clear? Personification? Personification is the attribution of a human quality like feeling hungry, feeling happy, feeling thrilled, anything as such, to a non-human being. Here, tree is a non-human being which is given the human quality of feeling thrilled. So it's a personification. Just like we saw, a situation was given the human quality of silencing. It's silences. The situation, the sad situation created there, happened there. It's a silence. Silenced the poet. So human quality of silencing somebody, just like requesting, just like making somebody cry, just like making some silent, has been given to a non-human being, that is a situation. So personification. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now coming back to this one. So here is the one. Next one. What happened to the bird in the end of the poem? Look at the options and pick. What are you waiting for? Is it a tougher question? It's a straight one, right? Very simple one.
She flew away.
Of course. Next one. Why was Goldfinch's body barely visible?
Due to her dark colored yellow body.
Yeah, you're right. This was the reason. Now, how did the bird arrive at the other branch of the tree? With a chirping sound, chirping sound, silently never arrived at the other branch, flew away, and then arrived at the branch. Here is the evidence. Then, with eerie, delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite. That means strange chirrupings, sounds. It reached the other branch of the tree after feeding the young ones. Then flew to sky. Then the laburnum top became silent again. So what is the answer? How did the bird arrive at the other branch of the tree? That's the one. With a chirping sound. See, after feeding the young ones, you know what it did? It went to the other branch of the tree with eerie, delicate whistle chirrup whisperings. Then it launched away. I hope this is clear. Shall we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Next one. What role does the tree play for the goldfinch bird? As a shelter, as a supporter, as a means to feed her family, as a resting place?
Shelter.
Surely it is a shelter. Yeah, supporter, means to feed her family may not be right option. As a resting place, as a supporter, includes when you treat it as a shelter. So you can go ahead with as a shelter. Shelter. Next question. Why did the goldfinch bird come, not came, come towards the tree?
To feed her younger ones.
Yeah, it's a straight question. To feed her younger ones. Next one. How was the tree standing in the month of September? Still and death-like, alive, green and happy, still and green.
Still and death-like.
Still and death-like. That's great. The last one. How did the poet describe the top of the laburnum tree in the poem? The laburnum top. Still and silent, moving and angry like, silent and motionless, none of the above.
Still and silent.
Is there anybody who considered this one as well? You might
Yes, sir.
be right only, but when you stick to the actual poem, you can see that silent and still, these two words have been used. And so we can stick to them only, still and silent. So there you are. Right, guys? I'll share this link with you right now, extracts, and after a bit of time, other MCQs also. Do them and get back to me on my personal WhatsApp. Okay? See, please just do both the extracts right now and leave your scores in the chat box. Then leave the session, wait for the MCQs link. Just give me a moment to float the link of extract based ones. Then start doing it. There you are. Please just acknowledge it. Did you guys get that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please just do that and leave your scores in the chat box. Google Meet.
So we have to do the second and the third one, right?
Yeah, only second and the third one. This one and this one, because already done with the first one, right? We are done with the first one. You don't have to do that again. EB2 and EB3. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes. I'll be here only. Just leave your scores in the chat box. Let me see. That's a good score, Kashish. Please wait for the MCQs links as well. Where did you go wrong?
I actually have a doubt in this one. EB3, question number 1.
Okay. What's been termed as the engine of our family? Yeah.
So I think she was termed as the engine of her family. But then I checked the answer. So it was like her chicks have been called as the engine of her family.
Okay. Just look at this here. Where is it? Yeah, it is the engine of her family. She stokes it full. Now, if you say it, there must be a reference to the previous one, or that one must be a non-human being. Okay. Now, if you just look at these ones, the all three trembles and thrills. So probably the tree might have been referred to as the engine of a family. Well, this is the reason why it has been used to refer to it as the engine of her family. Her family. She stokes it full. And then he's talking about the bird here. And what did you think of?
I thought of her only. Like, she is the one bringing in the food. She is the one taking care. So she could be termed as the engine of her family. That was
Okay,
what
just a
my
moment.
thought was.
Okay. The old tree trembles. Yeah,
And even
there
if
is a possibility, but okay. Yeah, you might be right as well.
so even if we
Wait.
consider the tree, no, the answer they have given
No. We cannot can be dropped, please. Can be dropped, please. It is the engine of a family. Yeah. So yeah. You come up with your explanation. You were about to say something.
I was saying that, like, it is. So if we do not consider the sparrow, and even if we take tree into consideration here, the answer they have given is her chicks. They are the engine of the
No.
family. And I'm like, no, I'm not
No.
accepting this answer.
No. It might be wrong only. It is the engine of a family. One moment. Let me give you the clarification. The old tree trembles and thrills. She enters the thickness and the machine starts up of chicklings and a tremor wings and trillings. All these are sounds made by those young ones. The old tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of a family. See, what my thought here is, all these sounds probably might be energizing them to live the life in true essence. Just look at this. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up. Machine starts up. That means sounds were made of chitterings and tremor of wings and trillings, all these from of course the young ones. And with all those, the whole tree trembles and thrills. So it is the engine of a family. That means just like engine takes forward these sounds, chitterlings, all that probably might be acting as a fuel, or taking their life forward in life full essence. And what is given here? Have chicks? Nah, might be wrong only.
So, sir, how I interpret it, maybe if we are to consider the chicks, and like engine of her family here does not mean in its literal terms. They just want to say that it's the reason for their happiness. So
That's what I got.
everybody's children are the reason for their happiness. And in the above lines, like of chitterings
So,
and tremor of wings,
ha,
here
ha,
they
ha,
are
ha.
talking about the chicks. The whole
Yeah,
tree yeah. So maybe in that reference, they
yeah,
are calling their chicks as the engine of a family.
um, yeah, you can interpret in that way only. That way also. But yeah, you can interpret in that way also. But what I feel is here, engine does not mean that it's a railway bogie or dibba that can just take it. What I felt is, see, box, some box house or storehouse of noises, life, energy, something like this. Did you get
Yes.
my point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Storehouse of it. So in that way, I thought, yeah, you might be right. In that way, probably he might have considered chicks because when they just started responding with energy, life, happiness that her mama had come back, maybe after a little while. It can be about feeding, but on seeing her mother, their mother, they might have felt very happy, must have made energized cries, all that. So yeah, there might be correctness as well. Yeah, we can go ahead with chicks only. But here, chicks, the sounds made by them acted as the storehouse of energy, life, and that has become the engine of a family. So those happiness, life, energy moments, energized moments, are acting as to live a life to the fullest. In that way, we can interpret that. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right, right, right. Who else posted their scores here? Let me check. Only one. Do you need some more time as well? Gurnur, great. Went wrong,
Yes,
Gurnur?
sir.
Yeah, I hope this is clearer now.
Yes, it's clear.
Right, great. Next, only two guys. Naman, still doing. Very few, yeah. Manan Lat. I respect your honesty, Manan. Congrats. But by the way, were you convinced with the right answers or are there any doubts, Manan?
No, sir, no doubt.
Then great. Three people. Please just do not leave the session. I'll just be back. Not showing the option to take the attendance. I'll just join back in a moment. Do not leave the session, please. Do not leave. Yes, guys, I'm back. Bhumika Chandra, great, good score, Bhumika. I hope that might be the only answer, question where you must have gone wrong. Am I right, Bhumika?
Yes, sir.
That's great.
Yes,
I
sir.
think
Yes, sir.
better that we had that question and we had a discussion on that as well. Right. Who else? Somebody else also left that score in my absence. One moment. Bhumika Chandra. Okay, fine. Naman Devansh. Then Naman 11 on 11. Great, great, great. Of course, it might be after the discussion of that question. Anyhow, there is no issue. It is also very nice. Tisha, Mohit, still waiting for yours. Now, those who have done this one, you please just leave the session, get relaxed, and then you will receive the MCQs. Do them thereafter. You don't have to be in the class if you don't have any concerns. Please leave the session.